The game that I'm talking about is called The Seance of Blake Manor, and it is currently the #1 rated game for 2025 on OpenCritic as of right now. I literally just checked.
Wow.
This is a gothic horror mystery history puzzle game. And I'm going to rattle off a bunch of games that I feel like inspired this game. And if your ears perk up at any of these, you will understand the vibe. So it borrows from Disco Elysium, it borrows from Return of the Obra Dinn, it borrows from Case of the Golden Idol, it borrows from Blueprints, and it borrows from Outer Wilds. So if any of those are like a confluence of what you like about games, then this is the most you-ass game that you will probably play this year. So the premise is you play a detective in 1897 Ireland. And there is, as you're about to see here, when this woman explodes into a set of crows, there is a slight supernatural element.
Wow, did you do that? I feel like you did that.
What in the hell?
Crows. So basically, you receive a letter at the beginning of the game from a mysterious benefactor who says a woman from our manor has gone missing. So the manor is like doubling as like a hotel as well. And they're like, please come. Something is very, very wrong here at the manor, and this woman has gone missing, and like we need to save her. So you rock up at this hotel. It is 11 p.m., 2 nights before Halloween. In 1897 in Ireland. The scariest night. And when you get there, you sort of begin wandering around the hotel. You sort of head straight into the lobby. Most people do. This gameplay clearly is just having a bit of a wander around the grounds. You can do that. That's totally fine. But yeah, you head into the lobby, and that's when you begin to or the game sort of starts to explain to you that time is ticking the entire time because her life is in danger. You're trying to save this woman, but every time you interact with something, it will cost, as you can see there on screen, 1 minute for you to do that. So
Stress.
you cannot interact with everything. And a lot of the things that you interact with are just, like you'll walk into, as you'll see in the lobby here shortly, there's, like newspapers and books and water jugs and things strewn everywhere. And sometimes you will look at a water jug and it'll be like, that is a jug of water. And you have just wasted a minute of your time, right?
Oh my God.
However, they have mechanisms for like, so the game does a really good job of like training you to sort of know what you can ignore and what you really shouldn't ignore. And so I kind of want to just like, briefly cover what the first like tutorial part of the game is, because I think it explains the concept really, really well. So you walk in here, you're wandering around the lobby, you're looking at things. You can see that there is an event happening at the hotel in 2 days' time that is a seance. Hence the titular the seance. And you come
Gus
here.
would have loved when you said that.
Yeah. I'm doing it in his honor. You come here, you ring the bell, the manager comes out, and the manager is sus as hell.
Great.
And you're like, hey, do you know anything about this lady, Evelyn? And he's like, yeah, she was here. She's not now.
Oh.
And you're like, so where might Evelyn be? And he's like, I don't remember. She left me a letter that said she had to leave, but like, don't know, don't worry about it. And you're like, okay, I need to see that letter. And so he's like, look, thank you for checking in. The staff will be here. Sorry, because it's so late, I just have to summon the staff. They'll be here at midnight to check you in. If you could just wait until midnight, that would be great. I'm just going to go back into my office. And you're like, that letter that I want to read.
How long was that conversation?
That letter that I want to read is in his office. So you're like, head into his office, and he's like, sorry, this is my office. You cannot be in here. And you're like, really need to read that letter though. Like I really need to read that letter. Time is ticking. But everything that you look at is adding in Outer Wildsy style, a like record of the thing that you just looked at, and you can talk to any character about the things that you have picked up or about any other character. So every conversation that you initiate with someone is also spending 1 minute per sort of subject. So you effectively have 60 actions per hour of the game.
Yeah.
But the tutorial is sort of like up until the midnight point. I won't spoil like how the actual puzzle works, but eventually you manage to get him out of his office and into another room. And then wander into his office, you find some information. At this point in my playthrough, I was sort of clicking on everything, not really too worried about the time. And then I was in the office, I found exactly what I needed, and then it struck midnight and he walked back in to the office that I was not supposed to be in, where I was standing. And he was like, "Get out." And I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. And then the game ended.
Oh.
And I got a screen that said, "Your actions saved the lives of 0 people in the hotel. There were 44 hours until the seance." And that's when it becomes apparent to you that it's not just this woman, Evelyn, who is in danger. Everyone in the hotel will die in 44 hours.
Oh my God.
And it is up to you to save them. So from my game over screen, I could reload back to the point where I entered that room and try again, or I could rewind to an earlier point in the timeline. So that's where it's like the time thing is a thing, but it's not like a total turn off for what a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't like playing under pressure," and blah, blah, blah.
And it's not like, oh, I failed and therefore I restart from 0 with personal knowledge that I can take into the game and know exactly what I
Much
want
like
to
blueprints.
Much like blueprints,
Yeah.
I guess, except blueprints you kind of, totally.
Yeah.
Blueprints, like you're taking that information, like game information already. Like you wouldn't be able to talk to someone about a thing you haven't interacted with.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
you
why
would know
it's nice
exactly
that
where
you
it is, so you would
blueprints it,
spend 1 minute to get there and then 1 minute to...
Yeah.
You know not to fuck with that jug of water.
Exactly,
Don't mess with
exactly.
water. It's just water. It's just water everywhere.
And so I was able to restart, and then they took me to my room, and then the second day begins, and the second day begins like at 8 a.m. and you are like let loose throughout the entire hotel. And there is this great like Agatha Christian scene at the beginning where like you wake up and you walk out into the lobby, and the 25 characters that are occupying the hotel are all standing in the lobby because like a bird has like crashed through the window or something like that. And it has this like, like the classic murder mystery opening scene where you're like, you're just like overwhelmed with like, this person's talking and now this person's talking and now this person's talking.
And Gal Gadot goes, enough champagne to fill the night.
Yes. But the thing that the game does really, really well is after that happens, they all sort of wander off and then the scope shrinks back down. So you're not like overwhelmed with like, oh my God, there's like so many people here that I can talk to.
I can't
and
talk
do
to Gal
whatever.
Gadot yet. She's in a wing that I can't get into.
Yes, that's correct. Yep. And so effectively the way the game works is, you start asking around about Evelyn, and the thing that you discover very, very quickly is that fucking everyone hates this bitch.
Oh, no.
So like everyone
Right.
has an incentive for her to not be like,
Agatha
for her to
Christie
be dead.
coded,
But she is missing, and it is up to you to save her. But again, the secondary sort of goal of the game, the primary goal is save Evelyn, but it is like a 100% completion thing as to whether or not you're able to save the lives of everyone.
Wow.
And it does a really great job of sort of
How will you feel about a run through of this game if you don't save everyone? Is that a success to you?
no.
Yeah, right?
No,
You gotta save everybody.
no, I had to
There is
save
only
everybody.
one ending to this game.
There is one ending in my mind.
Yeah.
This would take so long because there'd be so many things to look at. and
Yeah,
then you'd
yeah.
make a mistake, you run out of time, redo it.
So one thing that's really cool is sort of when you talk to the characters, you obviously have the option to ask them about themselves. You get this like Sherlockian style view of being able to look at them and like notice things about them. So for example, the manager that you meet at the beginning, one of the first things you can notice about him is that he has like a crack in his glasses. And he's also like constantly looking at his pocket watch. And
Bit of
there's,
LA
like,
Noir.
Yeah, a little bit LA Noir. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, so many crossovers.
So you can ask him about any of those things. You can ask him about any of the characters that you meet or any of the names that you meet. But because of the setting, it is incredibly vast in its Irish and Celtic mythology. Ooh. They are really, really heavy on all of that. So a lot of the characters, because the central premise is that it's all leading up to a seance, a lot of the characters who are here are sort of looking to communicate with someone they've lost, or they're being haunted by the ghost of their late husband or something like that, and they're all just sort of like trying to get something out of the ability to come to the seance.
Irish people are so fucking sad.
And
I'm Irish, so I'm allowed to say.
How are you feeling?
There's not a piece of Irish media that isn't dour and moody and ultimately tragic.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also
Kneecap
true.
is pretty cool.
Sorry?
Kneecap is pretty cool.
It's true of this game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's murder afoot. But so you can ask anyone about anything or anything that you've seen or anything that you've done, and then critically you can also ask them like, what's your weekend looking like?
Oh.
And they'll be like, yeah, okay, so I was thinking of attending the talk tomorrow at blah, blah, blah. I was thinking of maybe heading out to the garden after that. And they will just like happily tell you everything that they're planning on doing over the course of the 2 days that you have, which is beautiful because that auto fills in a timeline of where and when that person will be.
Yeah, okay.
And so, like I said before, you get 60, there's obviously roughly 60 actions you can take per hour. Some actions will take longer. So, for example, if you attend a meal, then that's going to take sort of 15 to 25 minutes just straight away. And
how many courses?
Just the one, as far as I can tell.
Okay,
but
yeah.
the courses of conversation are what makes it important, and the decisions that you have, and whether you distract someone and steal a key to their room or whatever.
Have you ever had someone say they'll be somewhere and then not be there?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And then
diabolical.
Yeah, then it becomes an interesting thing of like, where is that? Where is that person?
People can just lie.
Yeah. And so it's often, about like sort of corroborating with other people and asking them like, hey, where'd old mate go? Because like he said he was going to be here. And they're like, yeah, I heard that someone say that they heard a strange noise in the women's changing room. And you're like, I guess I need to sneak into the women's changing room and
Did you feel
see
like
if
you were
he's in
taking notes while you were playing this?
So this is the thing that I love about both Outer Wilds and this, is that the game takes notes for you.
Okay,
thank God.
So yes, in games where there is like lots and lots of text and everything is very text heavy, this is sort of the struggle that I had with games like Lorelei and the Laser Eyes and Blueprints especially, where it was like, do I actually really am I going to engage enough in a way that's going to make this experience satisfying unless I fully write down it? Yeah. At no point did I need to write anything down.
Oh, wow.
That's something I really
crazy.
struggled with Blueprints. I was like, I don't know if any of these notes I'm taking are actually doing anything for me, and I feel like I'm writing for nothing.
Yeah, because Golden Idol's a bit better.
It
kind of gives you the key things that you would
That's
apply.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
And where this borrows from Golden Idol is it takes the exact mechanic of Golden Idol out of Golden Idol. So when you have a sudden realization about someone, it presents to you a screen that is like a mind map of everything you know about that person, with like lines connecting all the bits, and you can hover over and see everything. And then at the bottom is like a Golden Idol-esque screen of like, this person blank, 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 because blank, blank, blank. And you drag the information in, and then you get this ability in your mind that's just like, such and such is... hates Evelyn because she was cheating on, she was her husband's mistress or whatever, and then you'll go up to that woman and be like, you hate Evelyn because this, and then she's like, you got me, and you're like, you should maybe not attend the seance, and they'll be like, okay. maybe I won't attend the seance.
You've saved one life.
And then,
Ding, ding.
yes, you have saved that person's life effectively by convincing them not to attend. At the end
What
of
happened
every...
at the seance?
Ooh, it was pretty deadly. It's pretty deadly. But I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't.
Don't want to spoil it. Because literally the end of the game. But yeah, there's... the game is very, like, the devs have taken a lot of care. So there is a full library that you can go to in the manor and look up various pieces of, like, Irish mythology history, world mythology, religions of the time, scientific advancements of the time. Not to the point where you're like opening a random book and just like reading through and hoping you'll find the information. You'll go up to the science section and it'll be like, what do you want to look up? And it'll be like, well, I saw something about this chemical. I want to look up this chemical. And it'll be like, it'll do that D&D style thing of like, you open the book and you look at the book and the book says this about this chemical. So like, it's not.
Does that cost you a minute?
Yes, that will cost you a minute to do.
Even learning takes time?
Yeah.
God damn it.
The beauty though is that the one thing that takes no time is your movement. You can move anywhere you like and enter a new area and go to different places without spending any time. So if you're like standing at someone, you're like, shit, I actually do need to go and ask this other guy who's like in the graveyard over there about this other thing. It does not cost you anything to transition all the way over there, go and ask that guy that thing, and then come all the way back, and that costs you the 1 minute that it costs for you to ask the guy that question.
And I guess you can kind of use the time system to your advantage, so you can kind of do things to add up the minutes, knowing that this person's going to be over there at this time.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And the intent is that like you know that this person is standing in this room, which means they're not in their room. So I'm just going to sneak into their room and, like have a poke around. Yeah. And yeah, so basically at the top of so the entire game is effectively static in that sort of like blueprintian style way. And everyone sort of changes position at the top of every hour. So once that hits the sort of 12 noon mark, then any characters you see on the map will effectively just move into different rooms. Yeah, cool. But yeah, it took me...
What a beast.
I think...
a crazy game.
Yeah. I'm blown away by how well it's reviewing. I don't think it is... I think the reason it is at the top of OpenCritic right now is because there are not a huge amount of reviews because it is not currently a very popular game. I think it will probably drop. However, I enjoyed it a lot. There were a few things that infuriated me about it a little bit. In particular, the load times between each region seemed unnecessary.
Yeah, right.
And when you're just like... And it only really bothered me once I got towards the end game and I was just trying to bring all the threads together.
Yeah.
So I had to go over here and then I had to go over here and I just had all these like little loose bits that I was trying to clean up. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get to the end. But in terms of like the vibe is so well done. I'm like a sucker for like gothic horror style stuff, so that's really cool. The characters are all really, really well written. They're all really believable, and all of their sort of dilemmas are realistic in the sense that like they're realistic in what the world is presenting you. Like obviously it's like, well, no, I'm not just going to be able to walk over there and talk to a ghost, but if I accept the fact that I can walk over there and talk to a ghost, it all kind of still works.
And it will turn into 6 crows at the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So yeah, and it's not super heavy-handed with it. It does, I think, a really good job of being subtle when it needs to be subtle and not when it doesn't need to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.